leaving all this great data, and I didn't know where that should be transferred to at the time. So I think it's brilliant to have all three fellows come in and kind of launch us on a regional level, because these tools, the consultants and Pfizer spent millions of dollars on these tools, and we need to make sure that we can keep that sustainable once we leave. And that's the biggest challenge that for me is not knowing now in Swaziland if these models are still being used. So for instance, for us, we had sales managers then riding with the reps, building detail pieces to kind of detail the spazas, the store owners, and then running whole reports and sales models, making sure they're strategic where they spend their time and focus. So I think this will be key, having that debrief at the end. I think it's something unique that we haven't done before.
Have any other organizations yet done a regional sharing of best practices or training like we proposed?
Not that this year's applications, I think people started putting that into the application. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it come back. I know with the mobilized malaria at Pfizer, we've had some fellows that go back and do some stuff with their NGO that they work with and transfer some more knowledge, but there hasn't been a whole lot of sustainability in terms of when a fellow gets back that they're able to continue communicating back. And I think that's where this network will be important, especially for PSI to take advantage of now, because it hasn't been launched externally yet. We're just now getting internal things. So for instance, we did a speaker series with the VP of Pfizer, who is opening business in India. So we've had 8 fellows that have done work in India, so we were able to provide this VP a document on how to do business in India and open business there for a new diabetes medication. So so I think it's important now to take, the new president, I'll be transferring, I've actually already went through the transition and announced everything to my team, but the new VP, Nicole Steichleather, which I can connect you with, I think it'll be good to keep in touch with. And I'll debrief her, because my goal was to come here and debrief with her kind of what I've learned from you guys and how we can all partner, because I think it's a good time to, there's a lot of partnership opportunities that could exist, because there are 8 platforms that Pfizer has under corporate responsibility. This is one, this is our signature one, but I think you can continue strengthening mutual relationships between the organizations. So. Hi.
Hi, I'm Julie.
Hi, Julie.
And I work in the area of social franchising and also provider communications, where we use a lot of medical detail and pharmaceutical sales strategies and to achieve our objectives. One of the questions I have for you is, well, first of all, thank you very much for taking the time to educate us about your fellowship. I really appreciate it. I'm wondering how you guys coordinate among yourselves when providing, technical assistance to our programs. For example, you said you had, I don't know, what, 11 fellows working from work? I don't know
18,
how many you have.
18 now with PSI over the past 8 years.
So I would imagine wherever we have a fellow who has a background in pharmaceutical sales, we would be trying to work with them to help to get you to build our capacity at the platform level, right, to do better, whatever we call it, pharmaceutical sales, medical detailing, provider communications. So I'm wondering if you guys coordinate among yourselves to determine, like what did you do for Swaziland when you were there, so that I can replicate that and then build on it when I'm providing services to another country.
I think it's a great question. There's actually a gap there right now. So we do have a GHF intranet where fellows can log in with a username and password, and we put data onto this this kind of internal network, which I did return that back in or kind of submit that in so other fellows could use it. But there's been no way until this network started that we can actually have kind of a drop down. We're redeveloping the whole internal website where fellows can say, okay, I'm working with PSI, sales, and then all that information shows up, because there's just this big database of information. So it's hard to know what would be beneficial. It's not rated or anything, so people kind of can build off that. So I think that's where this network will come into play. And I think as well, too, at PSI, I know we in Swaziland had an internal database for putting information. If that could be a global database, I don't know if it's possible or not, where this stuff can be shared on a larger scale at PSI. Or even, a way when the partner with the network could be somebody like yourself that's working on medical detailing can tap into the network, and then we can then distribute that out to our teams to maybe even do a speaker series with you. So maybe out of these 18 alum, maybe we have, I don't know, throwing out 12 that are still with Pfizer, and those 12 could then come in and say, that have a sales background, and say, we want to do a topic on medical detailing and how to build that infrastructure at PSI. So then we can do a topic on that, and then you could be on board in your team. And I don't know if you're working with Jennifer and I spoke with somebody else in Johannesburg that's doing